Just to start off today's episode, it's definitely not General Grievous. Me and Zach looked at the eyes.
That's a bummer.
And it was not a match. You are not the
father.
The clone.
Open in your...
The robot.
Open in your...
In
Well,
3.
I'm not right. I'm so sorry.
Work with it. In 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody.
I'm Adam.
I'm Sam.
I'm Will.
And we are Working Title.
You guys are assholes.
Adam's gonna die.
Guys, we're
I
back.
said I wasn't ready. I'm eating an Oreo, and Sam was like, roll with it.
No one cares. Guys, this is The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 3, Chapter 19, title. Last on, we went to the mines of Mandalore, and then we did it again. We saw not General Grievous.
With the same shot.
We saw Famous Lizard in the sewer pipe, and the Mythosaur.
So make sure you leave a like, hit the subscription button, check out our Patreon after you've left a comment. On our Patreon, we got some anime if you're into that. We also watch a lot of Star Wars stuff, so check all that Star Wars stuff out.
Do it.
We'll see you in the next one. Punch it.
Wow.
She's like, what the fuck did I just see?
Can we turn one of those on? I got it.
Do that one.
Video quality dropped by 10.
Okay.
Grogu.
Hey, Bubba. Damn it.
Sorry.
That's my fault. I put him back.
I am redeemed.
I
Nice.
Sure.
witnessed it. You bathed in the living waters. You are Mandalorian again. Can we leave now?
Shit.
Did you see that thing
What
down
is
there?
You see anything down there?
I know it.
I saw the chasm passing me as I fell.
The bombings from the Purge must have triggered seismic activities.
So that thing was trapped underground?
Did you see anything alive?
Alive? Like what?
A mythosaur?
Nothing.
Ah, come on, tell
Let's
him.
get out of here.
Dog, come on.
You gonna do him like that?
She's like, this is my secret.
Yep.
Honestly, if she wants to claim Mandalore,
There's
she
her ticket.
She needs to ride that thing and steal his saber. Yeehaw!
I mean, he didn't even want it. He was like,
No,
just
he
take
was like, take it.
But she's like, okay, now this works. This is better for like my wall poster when people need to put me up on like buildings. I look epic
Billboards?
riding my stallion.
Bring me to my ship and I'll be on my way.
Oh my god!
Ahead.
Something's coming up on us back.
It's the fucking...
Squadron of TIE interceptors.
Oh!
Sounded like it. It's time.
Get the gra.
It's cool to see interceptors. You really don't see those as often.
Yeah. What are they gonna drop?
He's gonna do the thing. He's gonna jump it. He's gonna Ahsoka this thing.
Whoa!
Jesus. God, everything is so crisp.
It's going kablooey.
Oh no.
Nice. Okay, never mind.
Oh. We go cold.
Chicken.
Nice.
Made it to the N1. Heading to you.
Kind of looks like the Andor planet.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's an awesome looking place.
Oh!
One more to go.
That was sick. Wow.
Whoa! Wow!
It was like, we did it.
Hot damn, she's good.
I feel like Valerian's just gonna swoop by and eat one of these things.
Hang on. I'm seeing something on the scope.
Oh, fuck.
Two somethings.
Oh!
What is that?
They just
Castle
blow up
gone.
in place.
Yep.
Why? Y'all suck.
Damn. You don't have a home.
Y'all could have moved in at the minimum. Why'd you have to destroy it?
Those months have spawned my home.
Language.
We're gonna acknowledge that Adam said language.
No.
I have the worst mouth.
There's more coming. Yeah, this is a trap.
Oh, Dale. Dale.
Bo, listen to me. You have to get out of there.
She's got the kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does that thing have a hyperspace drive?
That's a lot of ships for an Imperial warlord.
I'm sending jump coordinates.
To where?
Someplace they won't find us.
Dear Lord.
Also, apparently, this is the longest episode they've ever made.
It's almost an hour.
Come on.
58 minutes.
What's with all the heat?
The
though?
Convert, this is called.
I read the synopsis, but who cares? I already know. Yes! It's opera time.
The amnesty program saved my life. There are many of us who had no choice.
Is this an Andor
in
character?
working for the Empire.
I mean, it'll be like
Now
30
the
years
Republic
later, so.
has given us a second chance.
Oh, this is the
So
doc.
thank you. I believe the
From
pursuit
season
of knowledge is the most noble thing someone can do. But despite the shameful work of my past, I now hope to help the New Republic in whatever way I can. Though that work is now behind me and I regret what I did, I assure you that my original intentions were good.
Now, how are you supposed to have a TED Talk in Star Wars without one of these thousands shooting you?
Thanks to the groundbreaking work of the Kaminoans, we know that cloning can duplicate an individual from a single genetic strand. What my work explored was the hopes of combining multiple strands to create replicas that incorporate the best genetic attributes of both donors.
Boy.
That doesn't sound good.
Little
Quite
sketch.
fascinating, actually. The first
This is
pass
Jurassic Park up in
rejected the
here.
formula almost immediately.
And we're lucky
Like
to
I was-
have you, Dr. Pershing.
How are you finding the city? Comfortable, I hope.
You know, I was almost drafted. Imagine me serving.
But darling, that was the Empire.
Oh, my apologies. Empire, rebels,
They're like,
Republic, I can't keep
This
track.
guy.
That's why I should just keep my mouth shut.
We try not to get involved.
Well, I think you deserve the very best, Doctor.
This is feeling like Andor too,
Yes, it is.
which I like.
Yeah. Just wide open like that? What the fuck? I don't like convertibles.
I just have a very big distrust when it comes to traveling in Coruscant.
This guy is 100% getting whacked. There's no way.
Or he's.
He just goes into the
Dirty
building and that guy
intentions.
from Andor is still eating cereal.
That's who I thought it was.
No, it's not him.
Everything all right?
I didn't expect to see anyone from Moff Gideon's ship here.
Oh, Gideon. I didn't know you worked for him.
I heard he escaped en route to the War Tribune.
No, that was just the cover story. I heard they hooked him up to a mind flare.
Oh, damn.
I try not to think about him anymore.
Alright.
Thanks to the rehabilitation program, I can contribute to the New Republic.
Cap.
Yeah.
Cap.
Just
As Cap.
I love when
Just
you do
like
that
all
every
of us.
time you distrust.
I'm looking at y'all looking to see if
I
I'm
love that.
alone.
I love that.
Look at that face. Deviousness.
Long live the New Republic.
Long live the New Republic.
Yeah, I wonder where the First Order spawns from.
Nah.
These fucks.
They don't,
Long live the New Republic.
they don't even get names? Just G40?
Maybe it's
FN217.
It might be to protect themselves. You know
Have
what
a
I
seat,
mean?
Doctor.
Gray 5'9".
What do you miss, L-52?
Miss?
From before.
Not a damn thing. That's
No,
what we should
I'm glad that the Empire is.
Oh, not like that.
say. I like experimenting on the
I
baby.
guess maybe those yellow travel biscuits from Russian guys.
Oh, that brings back memories.
precisely located in our...
I'm naked.
And afraid. Oh no.
Me no likey. Me no likey. Ooh.
How'd you not see that?
Holocron?
Bomb?
Yellow biscuits.
Oh. He's got an admirer. They're yellow. That box looks very Empire.
Well, it's Empire rations.
Yeah.
That's the top, the mountain. The thing we always talk
damn
about.
it!
From the original.
Oh,
it's right
man.
there, it's right ahead of him.
Okay.
I see it.
Whoa. Glowing?
It's just dumb.
Right there, look at that. Wow.
Magic. Turning.
Wow.
You've been to Coruscant before?
Not much has changed. Did feel different though. We thought we were doing good.
I do think about that sometimes.
Oh shit.
All of my research
Recruiting.
going unfinished.
Recruiting.
So why not continue your research here?
The ethics of cloning are complicated.
But if it could help the New Republic, isn't that important enough? You understand what I'm saying?
If I were to pursue my own research recreationally, would that be allowed?
According to your file, your previous research involved cloning and genetic engineering. That class of research is expressly prohibited by the Coruscant Accords, Section 13, Subparagraph 7. My apologies.
What you gonna
Do you
do,
have any
buddy?
further questions? Thank you for continuing to be an important part
It's like he's
of
on
the
probation.
program. Have a nice day.
This would be wild to think that some people might recruit because of a sense of freedom with the Empire.
Yeah.
Remind me, was
We
he
can get you a mobile lab station,
Oh.
but it would require going outside our designated perimeter.
Of course it does.
I've done a lot of things I'm ashamed of. I have a lot to make up for. But if your research really is as important as you say,
I'm calling Cap, man. Oh.
What were you gonna say about him, Sam?
I was gonna ask, is he the one who's helped with like that whole like Snoke looking thing in season 2?
Yeah.
He was he was that guy too?
It's too dangerous.
Okay. Also, I don't know why this guy ain't asking her like, what's your business trying to know all this stuff or
I
trying
know.
to push me towards all this stuff? What's your angle? This guy's just too naive.
She's definitely still working for Moff Gideon, like undercover low
Yeah.
key, because that no one seems to know where Moff Gideon actually ended
Right.
up, and you know,
52, everything okay?
Are you experiencing any undue stress due to work or personal matters?
yes.
No.
Have you experienced any feelings of anger
I
or
would hate
resentment
this.
towards your coworkers?
No.
But it's like, even if you do, like, say you got a problem,
Have you experienced
They're
any
gonna kick you out.
feelings of anger or resentment?
No.
Thank you for continuing to be
Our main objective is to help the Republic, right?
correct.
And that supersedes everything else?
It does. Thank you for
Yeah,
continuing to
there's
be
his
an
permission
important
to
part
go
of the
do it.
Amnesty program. Have a nice day.
as long as it's your belief, I suppose, you can fudge the reasons for doing everything. The greater good, said every horrible world leader.
Let's go get it.
good. Tomorrow night?
Yeah, I do that.
Have you ever heard the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise? What?
Just feeling the mischief, the mischievous evil nature of what's about to
Helping the
happen.
New Republic.
Yeah, dude, he's getting scammed.
It's the right thing to do.
You're getting scammed, bro. You're literally going to help revive.
So the
Sidious.
destination is on this planet named Exegol. I need this device to get there. It's very sneaky on how to get there.
Very sneaky.
That'd actually be sick. We could see some like early day Exegol. I love her fit. It feels so old school.
It's a cool fit.
It's very old school Star Wars.
I like his too.
He's like, wow, you're kind of cool.
Those biscuits looked delicious, but at the same time looked like a dog treat.
They looked like a dog treat.
Yeah.
There's nothing I think you're just hungry, aka the Oreos.
Oh. Oh my god.
You're gonna jump?
We're gonna jump!
What?
What? You're going too fast. Yeah.
I'm going like 90 plus miles. What are you saying? Jump how?
Hang on the outside.
Trust me!
No!
Now!
Gosh, this goes so fast. Sure.
There's pillows.
Sure.
Oh, look, a mattress transport.
Some pillows.
Whoa. Oh. Love that.
Oh, Star Destroyer. Several Star Destroyers, if I'm not mistaken.
See, that's the thing. I would just repurpose that. I guess it'd be
Reuse
hard
it?
to like switch up the text so they can't like corrupt it and get back in, but this is the most Book of Boba Mandalorian episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
But I guess I'm glad they're expanding the world a bit, getting some more characters other than
I was gonna bring that up.
Mr. Helmet and Baby.
Ah?
It's pretty nice.
It's pretty cool, right?
Also, she's kind of fun too, so
Yes, she is.
I don't mind too much.
Is this Gideon's ship?
No. They worked together, technically.
Elia Kane, communications officer.
Oh, they dropped a name.
You always knew what you wanted to do.
As far back as I can remember. What about you? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Darkness.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a chance to think about it.
What was that?
Just the ship sailing. Keep packing. I'll keep watch just in case.
Y'all
This is set up.
Y'all just got hijacked.
No.
You're back in the business for the Empire, buddy.
Gotcha.
This is the police. Put your hands.
Hands to sight. Stop 52. Raise your hands. You are under arrest.
What?
She set him up? What?
I'm so...
Raise your hands, L52.
I'm so confused.
Snitch.
What?
Snitch. We'll hear why.
Good morning, Doctor.
Listen, I can explain. I wasn't trying to...
No need. Amnesty Officer G68 has already submitted a report.
Why would you lead
What
him?
did she tell you?
We understand that the adjustment can be difficult.
No. I think there's been a mistake. I
But we're
wasn't
here to
trying...
help you. Indoctrination by the Empire is challenging to
You wanna
overcome.
do this?
Oh my god. They're gonna...
What the hell is happening?
It's a 602 mitigator. It's a non-invasive experimental treatment recently approved for rehabilitation.
No, it's a mind flare.
It's a similar device, but we found at low voltages it can be used to help
Bro, what the hell is happening? This is horrible.
Yeah.
I'll be here when you wake up.
You don't understand. She brought me there. It was a trap.
That line was stolen.
Set me up, please.
My ancestors use it all the
You set me
time.
up. You've done the right thing.
Thanks.
How did she not get in trouble for that? She went all the way there.
I know this will help him.
It will.
Maybe her secret job is to try to
You
convert
are really
Imperials, and if they don't, they do this kind of
It's nice
crap.
to know that for every failure, there's a success, like you.
She weeds him out.
Yeah, she weeds out the herd to make him submit.
Offer him
That's some
something.
crazy nonsense, though. She gaslighted him into doing this, and now they're gonna brainwash him.
Shall we?
Do you mind if I stay?
Ew!
He relapsed. But he's a friend. I still care about him.
Dude, you're
You
What?
egged them on.
weird as hell, man.
Welcome to stay.
Nah.
Oh my
Messed it
god!
up. She's crazy. I mean, is she just like a Gideon acolyte and she's just exacting her revenge?
Oh my god! What is this?
What was the motivation behind that? Oh,
Okay, now we're back.
back to the Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
I just edit this video and pretend that whole section didn't exist.
Sure.
To a Mandalorian covert.
Make that its own video. Fuck it.
Vizsla.
Yeah, is she gonna know who that is?
I feel like they have to have known each other at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, she served his
father.
Yeah.
Damn, this does not look good.
I am Bo-Katan of Clan Kryze.
Your house has fallen from the way. You are both apostates.
You both bathed.
We have been to the living waters.
They both were in it. True. True, and she hasn't taken her helmet off since.
I bring
That's a good
proof.
point. That's a good point. She might be doing that intentionally. Huh.
Is this true?
It is. I have proof.
What if she's like, I saw the Memphis Heart.
Yeah.
By the way, it was there.
I was witness. He fell into the depths and I pulled him out.
Grogu's like, man, there's a lot of my dad around here.
Good one.
So what's gonna happen?
Yeah, what is this gonna do?
Maybe he'll have a
Turn into
certain
magic
reaction.
blue. Whoa! What?
White.
The truth?
What the heck?
Dinjarin, you are redeemed.
So should she?
This is the way.
This is the way.
I would like to be redeemed as well.
Bo-Katan Kryze. By creed, you too are redeemed.
It was a setup.
But I do not walk the way. Then you may join our covert and live as your ancestors once
She's
did.
like, man, I don't want all that.
You may leave anytime you wish. This is the way.
This is the way.
The Brotherhood. Paz is like, you know what? I hate kids too. I hate them.
I want my daddy's sword. You gonna mention that? Be with your people. God damn it. The planet is more foresty. Wow, that looks amazing.
Oh, that is like the most like
And it's a vibe.
beat thing. Oy.
Nope, catch.
Well, yeah, that was chapter 19 of The Mandalorian.
The
the
convert,
OVA.
it's called.
Oh, the convert.
Convert.
The OVA. Yeah, the special edition.
The Boba Fett episode of The Mandalorian.
The episode of episodes that had a hidden plot, which was interesting. I'm liking it. I'm glad that they are expanding the plot. I don't think it needed to be 58 minutes, but it's all good. It's all good.
You really think we're gonna go back to that?
I hope. At least. Well, I don't know. You bring up a good point. Because technically speaking, we're like.
The cloning facility, we never went back to that. This looked like it was heading down that lane, but then it got squashed.
I more so mean like it's been the subplot for 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
Like, I think he was in. Pershing was in like 2 episodes of the first season,
Yeah.
1 of
He took
second
Grogu's
season.
blood, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
he
who
was,
that guy
he
was?
was the doctor for that. When we were all freaking out, like, oh, Kamino and badge. And then the Snoke stuff.
Yeah,
and
and
second
he
season.
was his hologram of him speaking about everything was on the planet where Grief and Cara Dune and Mando were all going through that old facility.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they come back to it, it's cool.
Right.
I don't know.
It was a little drawn out to me.
It's like the show isn't about them.
Right.
It's weird. Like okay, for Andor, for example, having a ton of storyline on the serial dude. You know what I mean? I still don't even remember his name. The security guy.
I'll never remember his name.
Serial guy.
Yeah, serial guy. He was part of the story. Yeah, maybe they shouldn't have spent as much time on him, but at least he played a part in the story. He's going to play a part in season 2 when it comes out.
Yeah.
Whereas, I just don't understand why we've done this so many times with, or at least the past 2 seasons of this story and show. Why in Book of Boba do we get 2 episodes that are just, or 1 episode that's strictly Mando, it was a great episode. It just didn't fit the story of the show.
Right.
And then this, 90% of this episode just didn't fit
the Mandalorian.
I mean, it's related to the Mandalorian story, but if we don't go back to it, then I don't know.
What was the point?
It's
world building.
Yeah, I think it's just a really bad pace. It's a really it shouldn't have been 58 minutes.
No.
Here's the thing. I did enjoy what we got. It didn't need to be as long as it did.
Yeah.
Right.
You could have cut out the majority of those scenes and still had it. Yeah, and it's just like the Book of Boba. They should have just turned Book of Boba into a movie and done the specific Book of Boba plot separate from Din Djarin. Have Din Djarin stuff with Baby Grogu in season 3. Find a way to incorporate it. Maybe not have Grogu present in the first few episodes, and then get him maybe later, halfway through the season, and go back to Luke as the main credit.
And that could be for Ahsoka's show.
Or
that whole scene with Luke.
Yeah, or return to Luke as the halfway point of the season. And then have Din on his own doing all this stuff with Bo-Katan, journeying through Mandalore. I'm sure they wanted to just have Grogu there so it can be here's the lore of, because Baby Grogu basically operates as a talking point for why Din Djarin will explain the lore of Star Wars to the fan base.
Yep, that's an excellent point.
But I feel like you can find better companions than Grogu for the time being. Bo-Katan serves as another good one. I'd prefer her in terms of pushing the plot forward with him.
I was expecting total flashbacks. I feel like we talked about that in the post talk of the last episode. I was expecting flashbacks this episode.
I think
now, it wasn't I was expecting it so hard that this episode is dog shit to me. No.
Yeah.
I was entertained.
I think Will's concerns from the last episode this are really good for the show in general, and I think it might be where most people will come to face any form of criticism when it comes to The Mandalorian, is this formula for The Mandalorian worked really well in old-style television, being a campy show that you tuned in for once a week and you didn't have to care too much for the plot. It was more so entertainment, but I feel like audiences for television nowadays are so engaged in looking for, a story.
Yeah.
Rather than the weekly tune-ins, and the show hasn't gotten far in terms of story. What we've done with Baby Grogu is travel, not find anything, fight Moff Gideon. Travel, find nothing, give it to Luke Skywalker. Took him back, figure out what we want to do with our life.
Yeah, I mean at this point, he's redeemed. So it's what are we doing?
Combine the tribes.
Well, I mean, yeah. Now that they know that Mandalore is habitable. Even though, we don't know if they can eat or food on the planet, so that's probably another problem. But I would imagine that Din is probably going to try and convince them, hey, we've been living in exile because we've been living in exile because we haven't had a home. Well, now we can go back to our home.
Yeah.
Even though the home is
rebuild
shit at this point. So I don't know. That could be a cool next plot of the story, and considering. It's interesting to me that Bo-Katan is now involved. You know what I mean? She's a part of the way, whether she really wants to or not at the moment. Like she said, you could leave whenever you want. You don't have to stay here. But she is going to have to follow the creed, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, I like that. I think it's a good addition for the story.
Yeah.
To have, like, a character that's more of a character than just, like, a zealot that just, like, preaches at you, but doesn't really have much of a character behind it, so...
Do you guys actually think she has her own mischievous intentions?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't...
Why else would she bring up the Mythazar? She wouldn't say the Mythazar to him.
I think she
it was
might be
more so,
keeping
like-
things close to the chest. I don't know.
Well, it's probably also not the, like, you're, like... If you see something crazy, you might not say something immediately. You know what I mean? This is very dumb, and just an example to make sense. There's a light... When a car drives by outside, there's a light that shines on Sam's fridge over here.
Yeah.
The first couple times I saw it, it scared me because it literally, the reflection looks like a person standing over there. I didn't say anything for a while. Like, it
really?
happened. Yeah, I had seen it, and then it was one point when you guys jumped up and you're like, "What the hell was that?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm not crazy."
You did.
Yeah,
you did. I brought up Demon Slayer earlier in this. There's an episode of Demon Slayer where I look, then Sam looks, and Sam is like, "Did you see that?" And Will's like, "I've been noticing that the past few days."
Yeah. Anyways, but that's an example of why Bo-Katan didn't say that, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to seem crazy. So she probably doesn't want to seem crazy saying, like, there was a Mythazar down there, or there was some big monster beneath water.
Right. Still on the Mythazar part, and this is so random. Was that what dragged him down, or did something else?
Pretty sure that's what dragged him down.
Okay.
But my only thing, though, is...
It just let him go?
Yeah.
It didn't do anything.
And also, like, there wasn't, like, it didn't look like something... Okay, he sank really fast, so it made it seem like something took him down, but also, he's wearing, like, a full plated armor. He could have just sunk like that, like...
Maybe the Mythazar is, like, sentient. Like, mischievous.
Like, hey, I'm here.
Like, or just, like, trying to play, like, play around.
Like, it's a baby Mythazar?
No, I mean, like sentient. Like, it has, like real, like...
Thoughts.
Reasons for why it does things.
Yeah.
We might not know why, but just to play around with Din, maybe play around with somebody and be like, come look for me.
Yeah.
I have, how
things.
Mythical creatures are. Go find the pot of gold. Hey, I'm right here. I don't know. But real quick, I wanted to jump back onto the what I was talking about with the campiness and the lack of overall or decent story plots is with this episode trying to go heavy in storytelling or maybe add layers. I'm just trying to figure out how much are we going to spend on a plot that I'm not sure is even going to be affecting the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because they've teased, at least as far as season 2 goes, stuff that has nothing to do with the Mandalorian as far as we're aware, and stuff that will affect the movies and the sequels. And now that we've returned to Pershing and that lady.
That's why you brought up the First Order.
Right.
Well, that's, my initial... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to continue on that note. Is this show also, is its side goal to establish the greater world because the sequels didn't do a good job? Kind of like how people feel like the Clone Wars helped benefit Revenge of the Sith to some degree. And that's fine. I just think The Mandalorian's a weird place to put it. The Clone Wars goes hand in hand with Revenge of the Sith. The Mandalorian, for me, just feels like it should be its own thing. An Outer Rim story, separate from the grander world. And it feels like they're just trying to bring something that feels like Outer Rim and bring it to, bigger politics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think, why? Or, maybe, I don't know, I don't know. I guess that's what I'm ultimately saying is I don't know what they're doing. I would be curious what some of the commenters think, as well as you guys.
Yeah. I think the thing that bothers me from a show story perspective is it almost feels like they just it stays to this campy one-off kind of story, but with a overarching theme that goes through typical, like you said, old school television. But then randomly they try and have these Game of Thrones moments where it's we're gonna spend the entire time with Jon Snow up the wall, even though we've barely touched him for 3 episodes. But this just isn't that story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or rather, it's not that it's not that story. It's that it's not that level of a show or story. The story rating is not there for that, and it's also not Like we don't have an expectation of like, hey, there's multiple moving parts in the show because the show is just truly just
Mandalorian
Din and Grogu.
Right.
That's it. It's not like it's not really supposed to be
Din,
seemingly
Grogu,
like
Cobb Vanth and all these others.
Yeah, and I guess that's where you can go ahead and like make the spin-off TV shows, but then it gets annoying because it's like, why does Mandalorian feel like it's just an advertisement for all the spin-offs they're going to make?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, we're going to bring in a guy for one episode so that you know in 3 years from now we're going to make a Boba Fett show that's going to, you know, shit the bed. So it's just like, it's hard to like figure out where the good balance is. I don't know per se. I just don't necessarily think that they are hitting the mark. And again, if we're going to follow up on this story more throughout the season, I'm for it.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be like we get
Snoke thing?
we get 3, you know, really this plot around cloning was very prevalent in season 1. But if we're going to move forward and go one episode in season 2 about it, and then one episode in season 3, and one episode in season 4, I'm not going to care at that point.
Right.
Like, it's just not going to matter. So, I don't know.
I'm curious, like, what the average viewer thinks of this, too, that's not even, like, a hardcore Star Wars fan, too.
I feel like it has to be boring to, like, run into moments like this, and it's like... Because, like, I care, and I like Star Wars, and it's fun to be like, oh, in Coruscant, and see the mountaintop, and, you know, all this stuff, and, like, oh, we're getting, like, more lore as to, like, what's going on. Like, it is interesting to see, like, this is what's happening for ex-Empire people that aren't in jail. You know what I mean? They get to be, like, rehabilitated back into society. But on the flip side, as, like, a casual viewer, I can see yourself being like,
I'm done.
Go back to Mando.
Yeah.
Like, why are we here?
It felt like they just like took the script from Andor and applied it to the Mandalorian. It just feels like a little inconsistent because the show's never been like deep on the writing, where Andor was like intently doing that, and it worked for Andor because that's the only thing we knew for the Andor show because that's what the show did. The Mandalorian's never been like that. One of my actual biggest complaints when it comes to The Mandalorian from season 1 to season 3 is a lot of it's just a filler show. And that's fine, and that's what I tune in for. Like today, Mando, we spent like 10 minutes just dodging, everything from dodging TIE fighters to, I don't know, it just feels like random dogfights for no reason. There might be a reason later on, but a lot of time in Mandalorian in general... We just have flying battles or fighting for the sake of fighting to have an episode.
Well,
to check mark a fill-in of a season.
Those TIE fighter battles led to Bo-Katan's house getting destroyed and now going to where that clan or tribe, whatever. I don't know. The Hammer Lady, I don't know what to call her.
Maybe it's I just want to move on to the next thing.
I know.
I've seen a lot of... Maybe I just don't like starfighter fights as much as...
You used to?
Other people. I guess maybe in Star Wars general, I don't care too much for it.
Yeah.
I never play starfighter mode in any of the video games.
I feel like we had brought it up last reaction. Like, what is the plot in the season? And I had brought it up during this reaction. Get all the tribes together. You know, that is something that... they could go that direction... And then we could have like a little drama where Bo wants to be the leader and maybe Mando has a change of heart.
Yeah.
Can I say something controversial?
Go for it.
I feel like we've already been this whole post-talk on this episode.
Well, I'm definitely going to trump everything that you guys have just said. I think that it might be a detriment that Dave Filoni is like really involved in this.
A detriment?
Yeah. Now, granted... I will not argue with the man's knowledge and his idea of Star Wars. Like, I think he does have, like, the truest vision of Star Wars compared to, like, George Lucas. Like, him and, like, he's only a little bit behind George Lucas at what Star Wars should be. And, yes, I would rather him be involved than, like, the Disney people that just don't care or understand, like, what the story's about. Yeah, they're just looking for the money. But on the flip side, when you were talking about, like, just kind of, like, the random, like, dogfight of the week, I feel like I didn't notice it initially with this show, but this show has felt like it's Clone Wars. It's, like, live-action Clone Wars. But that doesn't really work in live action. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
You follow what I mean?
Well, I could even say that maybe it's not even as much Dave Filoni as it is Disney execs wanting certain check marks filled, and he has to tackle that. because he didn't have that as much with Clone Wars, and that was all kind of his baby, which is why I'd say that show's good, where this has a lot more problems.
Yeah, but there's a difference between like when you're watching a show that's like 24-minute episodes and your expectation is to release 24 of them in a season. Right. You can do all these little. Like, we can get, like, an arc and have a little story and have it go through, and then we can go and have a random, like, Yoda and Ahsoka episode, and then a random, you know, even though some people don't like those episodes, like a random Jar Jar and Padme, like, 2 episodes. Like, you can have these, like, short stories and, like, random funny moments, because it's only 24 minutes. You're not left to, like, engage the audience for more than that. Whereas it's, like, we have 58 minutes of like literally the longest episode they've ever made, and it felt like 90% of the episode the beginning it was like, okay, cool dogfight, wasn't the best dogfight we've had in all of like Star Wars. You know, we're sitting here watching it. Okay, cool. Now we've gotten some plot movement because Bo-Katan can't stay here anymore, and clearly she's pissed off some Imperial warlord. So like maybe there is more to come from that, to give the show credit. But then we jump to this like 58-minute long story, or not 58-minute. We jump to like 90% of the show story about the Doctor, who seemingly may not do anything for the rest of the show for like 35 minutes because now his brain's wiped, and we just have this woman who seems to be devious ex-Empire that's now serving the Republic for some reason.
Devious Republic.
Now she's like devious Republic lady, and then now we're back to the actual story. So. You know what I mean? Like I almost would have rather just had like a 25-minute episode of just the Mando and Bo-Katan stuff. Right. And even if they took the entire episode, I know people would still complain that there was no Mando in it at all. But if they made the entire episode about the Doctor and maybe spiced it up a little bit more, gave a little more to it, then it could have been better. I don't know. All I'm saying is this episode did not hit or did not meet the level of expectation I've had for the show prior.
Yep.
But it's plaguing what's been going on for the rest of the season, which is disappointing because I think the show has the potential to be better than this.
Yeah. Yep.
Not trying to be like the downtrodden, like, oh, this thing's horrible now. I'm not saying that. It's just
sometimes I just like
it could be better.
Maybe it's because since season 2 of The Mandalorian, I've watched so many different types of shows, and I think of like financial things now, and I think of like anime because we talk about budgets, and sometimes some scenes don't look good because it's not as important, so they put the money where the scenes are important. And then I'm just thinking like, how much did it cost to make that dog fight? And then couldn't we have spent it to do something else, or just the fact that it was 58 minutes, but we spent so much time on like random scenes that didn't even need to be made? Did they do this because they already have Andor sets and they're just repurposing things and just trying to fill up a meter so people feel like they've, I mean, not to throw some shade, but sometimes shows do better if people's engagement is watched from the beginning of the episode to the end, so they make a long episode just to like say our engagement is better. Because like, what's the purpose of, I mean, other than the biscuits, what was the purpose of that scene? There was like so many scenes that just, they didn't need to be there. What was the purpose of touching the rock of Coruscant? Right. Maybe it was just like, I don't know. They didn't. If they didn't need to go as deep with some of it.
If she reappears and that story continues the next couple episodes, then this whole conversation was like, we're wrong.
And the reason for the criticism is because I'm scared that they won't bring it back.
I agree.
That's
so my a track record of doing that.
Yeah, I have a track record of having to now go watch another show to understand what was happening.
Mm-hmm. I also remember when Will mentioned Order. Sorry to go back to that. But there was also the Mayfeld episode when the Witch King.
What are we talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
You said Mayfield. That's Bill Burr.
Bill Burr and the guy who played the Night King from Game of Thrones, the actor, the commander. That episode, he said.
Bill Burr episode season 2. Guys.
Yes, that episode where that commander was like, people don't want to be controlled; they want order. There's a drop of order right there.
Sure.
Yeah. First order.
And that idea, I just think that idea works better in Andor because that's like what Andor's setting up as a show to do. To show the complications and the politics of both sides. Kind of like how The Last Jedi, that was like what The Last Jedi was doing for some reason. in the grander scheme of the sequels, which it didn't fit in. Where this, like, The Mandalorian doesn't need to go that route. It doesn't need to go that route. That should be a separate show's, like, task to do. I guess that's what I'm just saying. I feel like Andor is a politics show. Mandalorian is not. Are we trying to bridge the gap and have them both be because of the success of one, which I doubt, because most people don't watch Andor, even though I liked it.
It was good.
Or are they trying to do that because we're going to be going into a political route with the Mandalorian stuff? Like, is this going to be a reason to try to train the audience because that might be the route that the Mandalorian show has to take? I don't know, because the Mandalorians seem to be more tribal at this point than political.
I don't know.
You tell us.
I was gonna say, and I don't know if it even makes sense, or maybe it was just like, there's too many misplaced, I don't know if it'll even make sense, misplaced Easter eggs? I don't know.
I don't know either.
In this show? I don't know.
What are you talking about?
The whole bringing up the order and then...
I don't think that's an Easter egg. I think that's a plot point they're trying to bring in. I'm just saying, I don't think that plot point fits into the Mandalorian show because the Mandalorian's not been about that.
Okay.
Where Andor has been about those things. An Easter egg's more like we saw an alien.
Sword or the lightsaber hilt of Ahsoka in this episode.
Speaking of, I saw one of the aliens from the sequel movies. It was like a yellow, like stuffed animal looking thing that they passed before hopping on the train. I guess no one cares because it's a sequel. But
Photon fizzle.
Definitely not.
I want one of those.
I know.
I want one of those
glowing popsicle.
And just very briefly touch back on the episode before we wrap up. I liked the frustrating thing is I actually did like the construction of this episode a lot.
Yeah.
I just feel like it doesn't work for Mandalorian, but just give some footnotes that I did love. I like the idea of like the New Republic kind of having this like weird dark side to it, and how like just depending on who's in charge doesn't mean there can't be bad apples among them taking advantage of a situation. The whole outro part of that story was very dark. One of the darkest Star Wars things I feel like I've seen. Really creepy. Very much One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Really
it is solid because it makes sense. Like, the Empire goes away. These bad people who've been able to do whatever the fuck they wanted for so long, even though a lot of times they do try and spin like, I was just a normal guy, just working. I just joined in because I thought it was my patriotic duty, or I didn't really have an option. I just had to join. Like, there are those kind of people, but there are a lot of people that did some fucked up shit during that time, and harassed the everyday citizen, whatever, and it's cool to see someone who may slip through the cracks, who was rehabilitated but is still doing some kind of fucked up shit, and also what they are doing to because I had never thought about that. What would they have done with all the Empire?
Employees?
The employees, the soldiers. You can't just kill them all. You can't just imprison them all.
Send them to the scrap with Bill Burr.
Yeah, I mean,
can't be trusted. They can't return to the politic game.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be saying. They get no form of leadership or any form of working for the new group. They have to be like a prison job. They can't be doing it. Unless there was a forced job on them, which I'm not sure. But if I had to take two guesses as to this woman's intention, one, she's a sadist, and that was what she enjoyed in the Imperial lifestyle, is just kind of torturing people on planets, and that was what she enjoyed in life and got off on. And second option is this is personal beef between Gideon, and that that group of people that works under that warlord just don't like that Pershing turned coat. Even if... Yeah, probably turncoat. Is maybe that was her test, is to get him in and see if he would shake hands and break bread. And because he says, I want to repurpose this for the New Republic, because screw the Empire, it was nope.
Yeah.
You were going to be a tool for me? No more.
Yeah.
Because you're doing these TED Talks to people, talking about how horrible life was for you. You're not cutting the bill. I also want to torture you because Moff Gideon don't like you.
Or we get super... plot twisty. She did this to torture him and be like, yo, they made me do it, so he would hate the Republic more, and then wanna First Order join up.
Long con.
Yeah, long con. Maybe.
I like
I mean, I feel like the fact that she ate the wafer or whatever at the end of the biscuit, I feel like to me that signifies that she's still low-key Empire.
Right.
You know what I mean? She hasn't given that life up.
Yeah,
for sure. That for sure
cool.
is what I'm feeling.
The devious look too. Yeah.
But it's funny. I did like somewhat enjoy. It was a little too long and drawn out. I did somewhat enjoy the story, but you're right. It's just not placed. The placement for the show just seems odd.
Yep.
I would like her to return though. If she's gonna be in the show,
I want the story to continue.
And him, yeah.
I want it to continue, not to be drawn out as much. I like her. I like him. I want more villains, so all our heroes have more people to combat against rather than a 60-year-old man who, can't do the best action sequences. So, yeah, spice it up. Bigger cast, always better for me.
I do like what you said about the budget. Like, how much did it cost for the dogfight?
Yeah, like, what's the purpose?
Yeah.
Unless it's going to serve the story overall.
Well, I was wondering, like, I just keep going back to, like, just how the last episode ended. They were still on Mandalore. And you just bringing up the budget. If they had a budget to show all that of Coruscant, why couldn't they have shown us a flashback of Mandalore in its prime? With Bo as a kid, that would have been really spectacular to see. I know it's been animated before, but it'd be cool to see it in live action.
I guess it might just depend on is it worth what plot point does it serve necessarily to see that? You know what I mean?
Well, that's my whole where's the plot going with the show? Getting the tribes together, And you brought up it was cool. Bo reading that little thing on the wall in the last episode. Some lore.
I think the show doesn't know, and this is my final point for the post-talk, is I just don't think the show knows where to
go
invest its time properly. Because we got Mando exploring Mandalore, and then Bo-Katan doing the same damn thing.
And randomly hunting for IG-11.
And they literally, it literally could have been as simple as Bo-Katan saw Baby Yoda, we jump cut to Baby Yoda taking her to the caves. Did not have to do all that other 7 minutes plus. Anyway, now that we've been redundant, any other things?
No.
I think I'm good, G.
Guys, we'll see you in episode 4. Let us know, did we drag on for you? Did our points make sense to you? Do you agree with our criticism? Do you agree with our critiques and likes of the episode?
Is Will a dick?
Is Will a lovely man? Let us know. Do you still love his thighs? We'll see you in the comment section in episode 4.
Got him! Punch it! Bah!